Hello, hello. Good, happy Sunday morning. Zilby is sort of here. I have the other camera, but I don't have it set up quite exactly right yet. Zilby, do you want to chase this? I've got a little crab. It's not the same type of crab, but we went out the other day and got him a new toy, and it's this like 3 feathers, so it spins whenever we like move it around, and he's loving that. Okay, he did the little rock cat growling thing and then ran upstairs. Oh no, he's begging someone else in the household for something now. All right. Last week, we were able to capture the flag of our opponents. We won a single game. Well, actually, we won 2 games against random other people, and we moved up the rank a little bit. Obviously, we could still work on this a little bit more and get better and capture even more flags, but there's some more game modes here. So internally, I had sort of thought that I wanted to do capture the flag until I got to until I got 1 win, and then I wanted to try the next one. Now, each of these, you notice there's a little tiny lock in the upper right of them. We have to craft locks to unlock them. I believe that I have that right now, though. Let's see, what's I think under inventory. You have upgrade key, I have key fragments. I have this key fragment right here. Well, I don't need an advanced key, although apparently I can upgrade a key to an advanced key. But let's see. If I go to spawn and swamp, this is gonna be the next one. It's the next one next to capture the flag. So I figure we'll do this one. Spawn and swamp. So the map is 100 by 100 tiles, same exactly as what we had, with random terrain, mostly covered by swamp. You have a spawn structure that allows you to create creeps by spending energy. Energy storage is available in containers nearby. So something interesting that tells me is that that's a limited finite resource of energy. We could create a small number of really huge creeps, or we could create a large number of really tiny creeps. But once we've run out of energy, that's it. We're done. The objective is to destroy the opponent's spawn. Additional contested energy storage is available in containers that constantly appear in different places and disappear shortly. Oh, additional contested energy storage is available in containers that constantly appear in different places and disappear shortly. So theoretically, I could grab that energy and then continue to make more creeps, and then just win by number of units. So that's good to know. I want to say that this is where they're showing that the opponents are, so it's not necessarily even on the map, although it kind of sort of looks like there might be. We're gonna have to like play against an idle opponent to sort of like see what's going on with this one. So I actually want to, well, first of all, let's unlock. This will consume 1 basic key. Oh, I don't have a basic key. I need to create a basic key first. So key fragment. Oh, so it takes 100 key fragments, which I have 100 of them, to create a basic key. Now I have a basic key. Great. And so to unlock the 3rd one, we need another 100 fragments. Okay, got it. I wonder how I unlock those. I bet I get them through playing matches or winning matches. But all right, we're locked into this one. It's going to be this or capture the flag. So let's go ahead and start just a versus idle opponent and just sort of see what we can see. Obviously a drop because we didn't do anything and neither did they. Oh, it is exactly what they showed. Is this us? This is us on the left. We have 3 containers, each with 2,500 energy. Our opponent has the same thing. Spawn with 3 2,500. It's not right across the map, but there is a sort of like we can go across. Oh, there's 2 different levels of spawn. There's plains and swamps. So the swamps is what we move really slowly around. Oh, and then here's one of these containers that was created. Oh, and another one up here. They each have, okay, that is 2,000. Okay, they each have 2,000. So I would want to create a collector that can collect from the container really fast. Can I build in this mode? Because I can make a turret. Oh, but turrets would have to like then add in more energy. Okay, so then more containers. Looks like it creates on the top and the bottom at the same time. That may be just random coincidence. I mean, so far it's been biased towards the middle and the left side of the map, but I bet it's just random. But that's actually a decent number of containers besides these that are created. So we're probably going to end up having battles around these to collect the resources to continue to build an army to then go and take over. Oh yeah, and these ones disappeared. So wait a second, how long do they last? So they came in on tick 150. Oh, and it disappeared on 250, so it lasts for 100 ticks. It kind of makes me wonder how we're gonna need to make really fast fast creeps. Let's see. Do you have okay, spawn and swamp doesn't really have any extra things here. So fatigue, the movement fatigue indicator, if it's greater than 0, the creep cannot move. And move decreases fatigue by 2 points per tick. And then there's... what does swamp do? Like add 4? Add 4 or 6? Fatigue? I don't know if the this will have. Okay, so what do I want to do with this? Can I build? I wonder if I probably can. I probably could build like a turret. I don't know if I want to. So I'm thinking for sort of like well, let's set things up so we can compile, and then we'll talk strategy. So let's see, under Screeps we have our source. We're gonna be using we're gonna be using swamp here. So our command is gonna be swamp. Okay, we're gonna do cargo watch. Okay, Screeps deploy M, and then this is swamp. Okay, everything seems to be working fine. We probably have actual code in there yet, right now, but I also don't think it really matters. Let's see. So we have capture the flag in here. Oh, you know what? I need to move this over like that so you can actually see. Same for this and this. Okay, we'll do swamp RS. Okay, so I need a run that takes in a tick. What is that, a U32? Yeah, a U32. Now I'm thinking I could actually return a result. And if I return a result, I wonder if I could then start using question marks a lot more often. Kind of want to try that. But I don't have air. Let's change that. Okay, so let's turn this result, and then you're going to be nothing. Okay. So there it goes. Oh, no. Wanted you, library. Okay, so we're gonna have config feature, arena capture the flag. This is actually going to be arena capture the flag. No, arena spawn and swamp. We'll run tick, but then I have to handle this error. So let's match you. Actually, you know what? It's if let error only, really. And then I probably just want to do a warn. Okay, so I think you're happy here, which means that I could probably return an error. I could probably bail, and we should be able to see that as a message. And I kind of want to just sort of experiment with this just to see whether or not this entire setup works. So if I bail, we just say this is an error. Does that get printed out now in the console, which would be really nice? Let's try again versus an idle opponent. The requested module arena does not provide an export name body part. Oh, interesting. So I must have something in global. Figured they'd have body parts in here somewhere. Or wait, did I? Hold on. I think I did it wrong in the library. Capture the flag. This is incorrect. I want swamp. Okay, so you're happy. Format argument must be a string literal. Error message. Oh, okay. I need to use it like format. Okay, now that worked. So we should be able to see this now. The requested module arena does not provide an export named body part. So let's see, I'm doing swamp, so tracing that. I'm doing swamp, branch alpha, spawn and swamp. Features, arena, spawn and swamp, okay? And then swamp.build. So it goes to cargo toml, arena, spawn and swamp. Give me Screeps Arena game API, arena, spawn and swamp. Okay, and then am I just missing things in let's try. Let's not bring in capture the flag. Okay. You executed. Do you work? You do. Okay, so there's I bet there's something in our global that's not happy with this. All right, and we get this. This is an error along with, that's beautiful, along with a line number, which is really nice. This is better error handling than we had before. I like it. So that's our global stuff. We're gonna have to figure this out. I'm not exactly sure why this global was not working. Let's see if we can isolate it down to role or utilities. So in library, oh, global. So we're mod global here. So in here, let's bring in role. You rebuilt. You work. So somewhere in utilities, we have this error, right? No. Well, that's confusing. I had to. Oh, wait. Oh, this mod CTF in here. I can only do this inside of here, can't I? So in capture the flag, I can do these two. Okay, so I have to do mod at the top level, but I'm gonna have to put it behind this sort of feature flag. So hold on. Okay, so but I'm gonna have to also grab you. Can I do this? No. Okay. Okay, great. So if I go into CTF, I'm doing like all these uses. I wonder if they're okay. So CTF. Would I have to put like the mod inside of here? How about that? Okay, we're gonna have to figure out a better way of doing this for future stuff. Because that kind of sucks with not knowing which one to do, unless I pull in the code for it. It's not going down that path, but like there's the use statements. So when I'm doing the mod, it's basically like loading all of this stuff into memory. It's like body part isn't available for us, which feels weird that body part isn't available to us. Yeah, it's still weird. Why would body part not be available to us? Because the Crest module Arena does not provide an export named body part. I don't know. Can I, inside of like a mod, do an if for another pub mod? I don't know. And these use statements, I basically want this file not to load at all unless we're doing something else. Well, for right now, to move forward, I'm just gonna take you off. You'll be happy, and this will start working again. Yeah. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure how we can. So we have tutorial, we have global. I wonder if I want to create another folder, like game modes. Can I put a feature and re-export through there? Maybe? Or maybe I can, in the arena, in spawn and swamp, I can tell it to load up all of the other stuff. I don't really want to do, because that's like a huge binaries. For pathways, it's not going to take. Also, it might then run this. Yeah, I don't want to add this feature in. Let me see. I have Firefox open. Wrestling. Basically, it's like feature flag loading a module. Oh, this conditionally includes a module, which oh, okay. So I just want to do something like this. I don't need the block around it. It's just the next line. Okay. So I can just do this. Then allow you in. You're happy. And then are you going to be happy? No. So arena capture the flag. Do you have to do multiple blank lines? See, config feature equals, that's exactly what I have. Config feature equals, yeah. I guess we could try with an extra line in it. Does not provide an export name body part. Okay, so still the same problem. And the only way we seem to be able to get around it is just not including this line. So mod capture the flag, which I want to only happen when we're doing feature. Is there a way to print out the features that are active? Can I list features?
I am who I say I am.
Cargo tree command offers several options to help inspect and visualize which features are enabled. Well, wait a second. I want it at runtime. Or at least, like, at compile time. Okay, so I'm gonna do cargo. I guess it wouldn't be cargo. It would be Rust, like compile time print features. We can do cargo build verbose maybe. Maybe cargo build verbose will help. Let's see if I can do that inside of here. So without you, so I want to Screeps. That's the only problem is Screeps deploy. I am doing -m swamp. Okay, so just to double check, in my Screeps.toml, swamp here is this one. So that is branch alpha spawn swamp, swamp.build, arena spawn and swamp. So that's all it's doing. I don't have swamp anywhere else in here.
Inhale and exhale.
So that gives me spawn and swamp. That then goes into Cargo Toml, Arena Spawn and Swamp, which then uses this part of the game API. Bolt-First Ad, hello! Which is why we're not able to see whatever the other things are. So I really just want it to not load the module. That's all I want it to do. I'm doing good. Went out on a very long bike ride yesterday. Carried my computer with me on my backpack. Just sort of like to see whether or not I can do like a long bike rides and go work out somewhere at like a faraway cafe. And now my shoulder's like sore today. So I need to figure out like saddlebags or something, like panniers, to put onto my bike that I can hold my computer in that I trust. I have panniers, but they're not good for computers. So, what about a basket? Well, I want something that would protect the computer. I could maybe find a basket for the front of the bike and then put my backpack into the basket. That could potentially work. I was thinking about finding like a backpack or a computer bag that has the little pannier hooks on it that I can then hook to like my rear, whatever that thing is, the thing that panniers connect to. I'm not like a bike person, so I don't know the go full midlife crisis and buy a touring motorcycle. You know, the entire point of the bicycle is exercise. I feel like a motorcycle would kind of negligate, would kind of defeat the purpose of the entire, you going out. But I like where your head's at. Dota, hello. Hey, it takes a few calories to get on and off the bike. Yeah, I'm sure. Yes. Okay. I'm trying to figure out how I can make it so that it doesn't run this mod when I'm instead doing the Arena Spawn and Swamp, which I figured that this would be the way to do it. You just saw a 6-part interview question in the community you're in that was asked to a candidate. He barely finished part 1. The response was declined to do the interview, and he said he couldn't afford to. He loses nothing refusing a 2-hour time. Oh, well, 2-hour time limit isn't terrible. Like, I assume this is a job interview type thing. Like, 2-hour time limit, like if you actually state the time limit, isn't terrible. It's the times when it's like, I don't know, I want you to work for a week on this thing, and essentially work for us for a week for free. That's where it's like, oh, yeah. So 20-minute tasks are actually 2 hours each. See, that's where it's like, you can state that there's a 2-hour time limit for everything, but if you still give, a huge amount, and you're like, the expectation is like, no, we're trying to find people that ignore that time limit and work like 13-hour days. Yeah, that's sort of like the counter interview of like, I'm interviewing you too, and you just gave me all the information I need to know. They called you back from the interview 2 weeks late because they lost your number. AKA they had no intention to call back, but had to because you were calling to check in. So if you know you'll barely finish 1 at 6, there's no point trying. I would say at that point in time, you switch the interview. So if you're in an interview and there's no way you can get this job, then then you want to pivot the interview to learning as much as possible. That's it. Like, and if there's no learning opportunities because of reasons, yeah, just leave. Your time is way more important than that. One of the responses said they see those tests in cases where the test creators have very little experience interviewing, which is unfortunately a majority of interviewers. A majority, like, there's no training. Like, there's very little official training on this. And most people don't even think about it. They just avoid it if they can. Heck, most developers that I'm aware of treat interviewing like jury duty. It's like, do I have to? Oh, okay, fine. My friend told you might have been too oncoming with enjoying working in a group and everything. I can't be myself, and apparently I can't lie either. What? Like, working in a modern software development is working in a group. Enjoying working in a group is a huge benefit. That is true, Dota. That is true. Oh, MCD. Okay. Yes. I was thinking in the context of software development still. Yes, if there are some places where they're like, you sit down, we want you to pretend to be a robot. I don't want your brain. I just want your hands, and I want you to repeat the same task over and over again. You treat that as a job you get through as quickly as possible to get onto a better job, because that kind of stuff will suck the soul out of your body. At some point, it's not healthy to analyze why you didn't get a job. Agree. And I see this all the time. People asking like, why aren't I getting good feedback? There's lots of reasons. The biggest one, especially if you're in America, is the legal system. They don't want to get sued. So the only thing they can tell you is you didn't have the experience that we wanted. You're glad you're not looking at the moment, hoping things work out for a while at the current place. I am glad I'm not in that position either. Like, looking for jobs sucks, and it never really gets good. It just gets slightly more tolerable. Okay, so do I have to like cancel this? Is this like hitting more than one line? Let's see. We have Warn. Use a Wasm Bindgen Prelude. This is all normal stuff. It's like here's the fun thing. That if I remove you two, which then forces me to remove you because I don't have the capture the flag run. So if I do this, let it recompile. Oh, this doesn't work now. Oh, well, you know what? It would be helpful if I was running the code to compile. Okay, so now it's compiled. I rerun you. This works. If I put those back in here, even though I'm telling it, do feature spawn and swamp. I guess one thing we can do. I don't know. I think I'm going to start with this one, but I really want to be able to get this working sometime. I just want to move forward today with Spawn and Swamp. You failed your classes at your last university, so you can't get any financial aid this year until you pass all of the credits you failed last year, meaning you need a job while studying. Oh, that's the worst. A university job might help out here. When I was at uni, I got a job as a lab assistant, then eventually lab manager. And that's like, that helped a lot with money. So I can like afford books and other things. So potentially, if there is a job at the university, maybe you can do that. Or uni doesn't even offer student job. Oh, well, never mind. Okay, well that's much harder. School. Okay, so while I was at school, different jobs that I had, systems administration at like the school district level. So like, you know, there's potential tech related jobs that you can get during the like at like government level areas. Like they might be able to let you go. If you can get a student level job in your field, that's ideal. Exactly, yes. And if they know that that's what's going on, then that's going to help out. Getting a job at like a fast food restaurant, like restaurants suck because they are very motivated by money, and most of them don't care about you. And in America, at the very least, they don't pay very well. It's all tips, which that's going down these days also. The pay won't be what you want, and the task won't be either, but that's fine. Yeah, like, I guess like the idea right now is any income for any task is fine with you. Yeah, at this point, it's like, it's just like, you got to get something, right? And if you get a job offer from something like McDonald's or some other fast food restaurant, it's fine. Keep it in the wings. Delay that as long as possible to see if you can get another job offer somewhere else. If you have no choice, take that, and move with it. But like also maybe like spend a tiny bit of time continuing to search for jobs, even after you find that one job, just in case you might be able to find something and it will go out well. And network like crazy. You might find somebody who is working for somewhere else that can help you out. That's all I can suggest right now. It's a really tough situation you're in, and hopefully you'll be able to get through it. All right, so we're running in here. So this technique works. I've turned off these features, so now we can be in Swamp and going. Outsourcing unit testing. That's like wanting to be fit so you can pay someone else to exercise. Dota, I wish I could tell you that I've not heard of that, but that's unfortunately common because there's enough companies out there that think that unit testing is not part of the value stream and is actually, well, this goes into a lot bigger conversation about like how businesses view the IT section of their companies, and like what they really think IT is doing. Kent Beck said it, of all people. What? Right, because you don't have an income, Wolfer said. Yeah, that's rough. I'm sorry about that. Hopefully you'll be able to find that job and get through it. But I'll try to provide you some free entertainment on Twitch for this stuff, at the very least. Kent Beck, 500 sounds like too cheap a computer. Also, I know. Like at that point, it's sort of like an emergency, right? It's just like, okay, we're gonna do whatever you can to just survive. Library computers, if possible. I went to school at a time when that was like doable. Like I didn't have to have a laptop. I could have just used the labs for everything. But that you may not be in that situation, especially nowadays. I don't know what colleges are like these days. It was about $1,500. You paid it off monthly while studying because you had student loans there. Yeah, things like that. That might be the only thing you could possibly do. Are you in America? There's some people who have had luck tweeting at like rich people like Bill Gates and getting them to like give you a computer or like something, paying off some student loans. Like that could help too. All right, so all right, what's our first thing that we're gonna do here? We have our spawn. We don't know. You're not, but it's fine. Okay. I have faith in you. You'll figure it out. Okay, well, first of all, we need to have our spawning set up. And we've learned now that we probably need to just keep a lot of the stuff that we're building inside of here. Yeah, so that helps a lot too. That's nice that you have that option. Okay, so I need to first get the, let's see. So let's first get the what's it gonna be called? Let's get the spawns. Yeah, the structure spawns. So get spawns. I'm gonna need both of them. So we'll do my is a boolean. And this will be a vac. Well, in this case, we know it's gonna be one, right? So like get spawn. We only have one. So this will be a structure spawn. It's a rough lesson, but it's good to learn it early on now, and you know what to do now next time. Okay. So we're gonna do a, let's do spawns equals yeah, spawns equals let's see, get objects, prototype. I want you to have prototypes. I want structure spawn. Okay, that gives me this vector. I want to then into iterator filter. Oh, this is an option. Well, I know that this can't possibly be anything other, so I'm going to do an unwrap here. That should be fine. So then that will give me the spawns, then I want the first one. So we'll do spawns of 0. Why can't I move it out? I want to take you. I have ownership of you. I want to get the first one and move it out of here. I mean, I might as well clone it, but still, it feels a little bit weird. I could do a normal for loop over it too, and then just return out of that. That would also work. Okay, but this is going to be get the spawn. So let my spawn So get spawn, my is true. I suppose we can get our enemy spawn too, but let's start with the very first thing that I want to do is start spawning creeps to collect energy and do stuff. Now, one thing I'm wondering is, do I want every creep to just be able to do everything and just have creeps that are my military and my like collectors? Instead, I would just have a ton of creeps, and then they'll just overwhelm. So, what if I were to do that? I want this is gonna suck. I want to always be spawning creeps if I can. So, I guess I don't need this to be public. This is private. So function spawn creep. We'll take in a spawn, which is a reference to a structure spawn. I don't need to return an error code. I don't know if I need to have a role or anything. Do I need this creep to have like a role? I might. Let's sort of play with it. So we'll take this spawn, and what I want to do is let new creep equals spawn dot spawn creep. Okay, so its body is going to be, so let's create a function to that same group slammed Jira a bit. Apparently Jira is very strong on reporting. Yeah, I go back and forth on Jira. Like, Jira's fine. It's missing some features that I really want, especially reporting wise. I want to be able to do reports on things that it doesn't let me do, and it creates reports that I just have no interest in. But the things that I really want to be able to do, I want to be able to assign multiple people to a ticket. I want to have I want to be able to do grid of like sort of swim lanes and columns. That's very hard to do. They seem to think its self-selecting nature is bad. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Can you clarify? Okay, so create, let's create the creep bodies. Creep body. Oh, the companies that buy it want good reporting because they want to know a finish date. I can buy that. I can understand that sort of feeling. To be honest, I really don't think that's the reason why companies buy into Jira. I think that's overthinking it. I think companies buy into Jira because they don't know any better and they don't know what they want, and they open up they just do a Google search for like what you need to use, and like everybody's using that, so they just use that. Like marketing, right? It's there. Let's see. Okay, so Screep body. So if I do that, we're gonna return an array. It's body part, I think. Is it? Wait, what do you need? You need. Oh no, yeah, not body part. You just want part. That. And let's say that you would be. I mean, I can also do this as a I could do this as a vector, so I don't have to decide right now. That might be best. Let's do this as a vector. So vector of part. All right, so right now we're going to just straight up return some body parts here. Now, documentation wise, Screep body parts. We also have the cost here. So cost is like that. Our structure spawn. Its capacity is 1,000. So we have 1,000 that we can spend. I'm actually curious. We have 3 containers that have 2,500 in them. There is this idea of containers in the normal Screeps game, which I can connect to a spawn essentially, and then pull and like use more than the normal amount. I'm kind of wondering whether or not that would work out for me. So if I set something about this more than 1,000. So let's see. Let's go back to creep. I don't have my wait, do I have a calculator? Okay, so if I wanted to do something like, now I need a move part for every single other parts to keep it moving decently fast. But I'm gonna want it to have tough, so that's 10. And let's say I want it to heal itself, so that's 250. I want it, like, let's just say I want it to be like all the things. Plus 80, plus 50, plus, I don't need work though. So all of these together is 1080, is that right? 100, 200, wait, no, that can be right. So I want 100 plus, no, not 100. I want 50 plus 80 plus 150 plus 250 plus 10. That's 540 before I add in moves. And so this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to sort of undo the move. So 5 times 50 is 250 plus 250. So 790 for something like this, which would be almost all of what I can do. It'd be like a one thing can do everything. One creep can do everything. That's fine. It's not super good at attack. It's not super good at range, but it can do everything. Now I wonder if I add in a whole bunch more moves, if I double the move. So instead of 5, add in 10, so it would be 500. That would bring us over 1,000, right? So what if I do 500 plus 50 plus 80 plus 150, 250, 10. Yeah, 1040. So I want to try this. I just want to see what would happen if I try to use more energy. Is it going to use the energy from those spawn, like those containers, or not? So I want it to be able to move at all times. So we're going to have move at the very end. Carry, if it's carrying something, I want that at the very end. I want tough at the beginning. So we're going to do part tough. We'll do, I guess, Healing should be also at the very end so I can heal myself. Huh. What did I do? I broke Nightbot. You're looking at some hard to read environment variable code. Did I break my Nightbot thing? Do I even have? Oh, I must not have it today, but I must have thought that I did for some reason. Hold on, let me. I do not log into Nightbot often enough to actually like see what I'm doing. Oh, what am I working on? So we're playing Screeps Arena today. So Screeps Arena is a game that we play with code. Normally it's JavaScript, but we're doing it in Rust because, well, they accept WebAssembly, and we found a library to sort of compile it down for us. This is the API for it. This is the actual game. So if I play against an idle opponent here we are. It's random which side we're on. So this is a full arena sort of battle. I need to use this spawn to create creeps. It has up to 1,000 energy in it. And then I have these containers with energy in them that I can use too. And the entire point of this is to go over and kill our opponent spawn before they can kill us. That's it. Throughout the game, random energy containers sort of appear in the middle, like here, which has 2,000 energy. So the API, this is what choices I have. So this is basically an enum. I have, if I want to create a creep, I can then add these parts to it. So think I'm creating like a robot, and I'm adding in like, tough is like adding in metal plating on the outside of it, which costs 10, and then gives me 100, I think it gives me 100 extra hit points. Heal costs 250, but allows me to heal myself at 12 hits per tick, or any other creep around. So I'm just gonna try to create like this gigantic creep first, because that seems to be like the best idea, right? So if I do tough first, and then I'm gonna move this over here so I can actually see what I'm doing. So tough, and then we'll do ranged attack, part attack, parry. I don't need work stats. 4? Why did I think it was 5 things? I don't need work. So carry, attack, range attack. Oh, heal. Heart, heal. And now I want to duplicate this, so 10. So I want these to be moved. So each of these slows me down. So the move counteracts each one part. So I will be slightly faster. Slightly. I'm also trying to move fast through a swamp. So that's a thing. Okay, so this gives me a vec of this. So I want to now do create creep body. That. So spawn, that's spawn creep, pass it in a reference to my spawn. And there, I should get, well, either I'm going to be able to create it right away or nothing's going to happen. So this is auto rebuilding for me. Let's go ahead and rerun the game and see whether or not I get a creep. I'm guessing no, and I'm going to have to stay within 1,000 energy. Yeah, if it was gonna draw off of these, I would have it would have started building now. So if I get to like 1,000 energy here in the creep normally, it still doesn't build it. So not terribly surprising. Okay, so what do I need to do? I need to track the creeps that I have and like how many that I want. This is gonna be interesting. I want so let's do struct like make creep tracker. Like I need to know how many I have. Okay, so we're gonna have a role for them. And we're going to be creating roles when we spawn a creep. So we're going to want, okay, so let's do creep types. Yeah, creep types. So then this is going to be matching the roles that we have so we can like track how many we actually want and have. So I want pub collectors, so to collect energy from the containers. Let's say that I want this to be a U8. I don't want too many of them. I could implement default. I might as well just implement a new impl types. Or, you know what, I could just impl default for this. Okay, so for collectors, I want this to be, let's say 5. I want 5 collectors. Just an arbitrary number. I don't know if this is too many or too little. At the beginning of each tick, I have to reinitialize and create the struct, and then load it up based upon what we have. Oh, so I don't, oh, I probably do want this to be. So this is like how many we have versus how many we want. So, pub, have collectors is a U8, and then pub want collectors is a U8. So in this case, I want a pub function new. I might want to just call this like init. Let's take in all of my creeps. So creeps is going to be a reference to a vec creep. We assume that every creep is our own. Okay. I still might want to do a default on this one so I can then set the wants in here. Okay, so for have collectors, I don't care about that. I just want collectors, and I want, let's say 5 of these. They can go out to the world and then collect from those other containers too, and then bring them back to my spawn. Now the other ones I want to do a spread of default. It's not really spread. I think that's something else. But I can't help but think of it like JavaScript spread. So let's create that mute. Create that. We're going to return creep types down here. Then I want to loop through each of the creeps. So essentially I want to do creeps.iter. Let's do a for each. For each of these, I want to get the role out of the creep. So I do need a role. I need this role to be a collector. Do I have this inside? I feel like in global I created like a role here. Right, with this attached to creep, and I can get it from the creep. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, perfect. So we're gonna use this. So we're gonna use a collector here. Oh, you might do a TDD kata. What's your kata site of choice? Kind of frustrated about your own personal project as you keep making what feels like zero progress. Kata log rocks TDD. Oh, I've never heard of that one. I mean, that's pretty cool looking. Interesting. Okay. I'll have to check this out off stream sometime, or maybe I'll add it onto my to do one on stream. But all right, let's see. So okay, I do this now. Come back to swamp, and now I can, because we did all that hard work, I can attach that to the creep. No, we're getting from the creep here. So I want to. I have a reference to the creep. I'm gonna get the role equals role from creep. That gives me a role. This role can be, and if you're unknown, you become that. Cool. Oh, right, because from has to be a self. I think it has to panic. Okay. Kind of like the idea of now having like an unknown role that we add into this. Unknown. And then if it's anything else, you become a self unknown. I think if you do a bunch of them, it'll help your TDD skills quite a bit. I mean, practicing is the way that we can improve. So that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so we get our role from here. And now I want to be able to detect what role this is. So I can match on this role. So I can match on the role. And so most of these I don't really care about right now. And I'm not going to have any. So it's going to be collectors, the only one I have. So I want to say... creep types dot have collectors plus equals to 1. Okay. So that gives all of you, all of you. Okay. Then that exits out. Okay, so we should now be able to init these. Okay, so let's get all of my creeps here too. Do we have that in here? I have get creeps with my in here already. Perfect. So I probably should have get spawn in there. Because that's not like something that's unique to this. All right, so we'll get all my creeps. So that my creeps equal. Wait, no, wrong one. Okay, then I want let creep types equals creep types. We're gonna init with a reference to my creeps. That should now give me this. So we'll have so I should have a have and a want. Okay, so then I should choose what role to spawn. So function choose role, choose needed role. Actually, that could be on here, can't it? So it's impl creep types. We have this init. We also have a pub function needed role. And we're going to return a role out of here. I'm gonna keep this hard coded and supposed to do like any kind of like weird loops or anything like that, because there's gonna be some that are, I want the order to be specific. So I want, I know there's a hash map. There's a type of hash map that preserves the order too, but I don't know if I think having it just explicitly like this is gonna be helpful for reading this. Okay, so we're gonna do if self dot have collectors. So if we have less than self dot want collectors, then we want to return. I can just do a bunch of ifs too. We want to return role collector. If we have no idea what role to create, let's just create a role collector. That's what we're making. I mean, I could also do an option to not have something. Let's do that. Let's do option role. So else we return a none. Okay, so needed role. So let's get the role that we need. If let, okay, so we're actually going to do an if let. If we need a role, let's spawn the creep. We'll hand it my spawn, and we'll hand it the needed role. Okay, so we get the new creep here. Spawn body. Okay, so we create the creep body. Wonder if we want to do that as part of the role here. Possibly. I don't know if this is going to be per game mode. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. So if I do something like this, we have attached shape, we have JS value. What if we also do hub function like create body for the role, like create body for role. Vector of a part. Okay, looking at my documentation here, I'm gonna want okay, so let's do one of each right now. So we'll want move part. Don't need work, I need carry. Carry, I don't need attack or range attack or heal or tough. I just want this to be, I want to have a little bit of tough. So part tough. One thing of tough up here. A thing of carry. And then I want to Okay, so carry and then move, move, move. Okay, so tough, carry, move, move, move. I want to repeat. So oh wait, you know what? I need to match. This is just for collector. Everything else is a to-do, and that's probably fine. Okay, so I have this role, which is great, because now I don't have to have this creep body here. I use the role. So this is now going to be role dot create body for role. Spawn the creep if we need, and that should work, I think. Let's find out. We should start spawning decent, like they're small creeps. It's taking longer than previous, probably because I'm actually doing something. Oh, execution timed out. Do I have an infinite loop? Okay. Well, that's not good. It's not crashing. It's not hitting the to-dos. It's just, I must have an infinite loop. These are showing that they're not running, which is not great. Although I am running here. Let's see. So if I don't do, well, I guess we're gonna do old school debugging. I'll turn all of you off. If we just get my spawn. You're building. That sounds appropriate. Okay. No errors. Then we get all my creeps. This should hopefully be fine too. Should be. Then I want to init and get the crypt's types. This is the first one where I'm not completely sure. We might run into our infinite loop here. I think so. Yep, script execution timed out. So what happened here? So in init, I pass it my creeps. I create a default version of my creeps, or sorry, of creep types, which has have collectors and want collectors. That doesn't seem to be too crazy. I loop through all my creeps. And then for each of them, I get the role, and based upon the role, I increment. And then I return the creep types. I don't think if the to-do got hit, it would be something else, right? Yeah, same thing. Script execution timed out. Let's see. This is an empty vector though, right? Because we don't have any creeps yet. So you're both 0, 0. Is it crashing when we're doing default? I'm getting execution timed out. So I'm not getting that log. Is that... Let's see, is this going where... Well, this is going to the correct place, right? I'm pretty sure it is. Yes, I know it's... Oh, wait, that one worked. Hold on. I'm confused. It's taking longer. Script execution is still timing out. Oh, the previous game is still running. I have to wait until this is open. Until this is over to run the next one? I can change that code all I want, but that doesn't really change it. Because it uploaded and sent my code away. So I have to wait for it to time out. Can I tell it to stop? Okay, so we got this initializing creep types and then execution timed out. Oh, so that's weird. So this default, that's what's causing the slowness? Did I just do this wrong? Is it dot dot dot? Okay, hold on, let's I guess let's try this. Let's derive default for this. Okay, so I self default to give me the creep types. Creep types dot want collectors equals 5. And that works right away. Weird. So it doesn't like. Whoa, it does not like me using the self default. That feels like a bug. But I wonder where the problem really lies. I also wonder if I can do like a default. So self default using this is fine. So I wonder if I can re-implement this. So impl default for types. Let's just not use, okay, so have collectors, we'll set you to 0. And you, I want you to be, want collectors 5. And I just won't, I'll just be explicit. Okay, so I think this will be fine. Okay, so this is going to create you and set all of you up for how many we have. We have 0 and 5 right now. That's fine. When we then create our creeps, so we spawn a new creep like this, we have the role. I then want to do a role dot attach to creep, which is going to be a reference to new creep. So we attach this role to the creep. Which gives us, you're a, right, your result with this creep and return code, but are you a real result? Excuse me. I doubt it. Yeah, that's not a real error. Oi, okay, fine. I want to do an if let okay. Equals that. Attach the role to the creep. So this cannot handle, and it'll only create the creep if it can. So, okay, then we spawn the creep. And okay, that works. All right. So we should now see creeps getting spawned. I don't know how long we have to wait until we have enough body parts to do it. Feels like it wouldn't cost 100, so that is okay. So that's not happening. Oh, because I took this code out. There we go. Right away, we start spawning in a creep. So it doesn't, we actually have enough to like just instantaneously create this. So here's this creep and, oh, we can create 2 right away, which is really nice. So we can see its fatigue is 0 right now. So we can ask it to add more body pipes later if we need to. These can go, I can create 3 instantaneously. Oh, that's really nice. So I want all of these to then essentially go to the closest energy source that has energy, collect it, and bring it back to our spawn. So I want to find a container. Okay, so that's spawning the creep. I then need to get the roll from each creep and then essentially run them based upon what we want them to do. So all right, let's do we're gonna loop through my creeps and get the rolls. So my creeps, getter for each. We get the roll. I can then match on this roll. For all of these, we're gonna do nothing. But collector, I want to then, I guess, run collector. Well, collecting is 2-step process, right? It's you have a role, you're a collector, but then you have jobs, or like your current, I guess your current state. So we have a collector state for these. The collector state would be either collecting, like you're heading out to grab energy from the I guess if you're empty, you're in a collecting state. That's all it is. We could just grab the state from the creep. Okay, easy enough. So let's run collector. Okay, run collector. I want you to collect, I guess I guess we first need to figure out what state you're in. So like if creep dot store, what is it? It's wrong one. I wanted this over here. So in a creep, we have access to a store object. Inside of the store, we have get free capacity and get used capacity. So if your free capacity, I could optionally give it a resource that it's looking for, but I could also just say, look, if you have let's see, get free capacity for the limited store, returns the capacity available for the viewers to find. I think I want to use get used capacity. So if used capacity is 0, I'm full and I've grabbed as much as I can. Is that true? Or do I want to see, do I have any amount of energy inside? Maybe that's what I want to do. If I have any amount of energy in my internal stores, I want to go and deploy it to my spawn. That's probably what I want to do. So get used capacity. Returns the capacity used by the returns the total. Yeah, so if it's 0, the container is empty. So okay. So get used capacity. Pass it in a none. So if this is 0, then we're empty and we need to go find a container. We need to find and get the closest containers. And yeah, we need to get the closest containers. So let containers okay, so that gives me a vector of structure container. I want to then, if I want to get the closest one, I can kind of do that. We can do creep dot find closest by path. Now this needs an array of containers. Well, that's fun. Let's see. I don't think I have. I think I can create like just a function. Create. There's like there's not probably utility here. So I need an array of containers. Let's do hub function get containers array. Won't pass anything back, and I'll return an array which might be empty. So let array equals array new. Okay, then we'll do a... All right, then we'll do a get objects by prototype. Oh, interesting. I could, instead of doing this get containers array, I could just do this get game object array by prototype. We'll take in a prototype. Interesting, it's lowercase. It's a okay. Prototype's type is lowercase. That's interesting. So then we'll do okay. So get objects by array will be this specific prototype. That should give me a vector. So then I want to into iterator it. We'll do a for each. It's our object. And I want to take this array and stuff it in there. So array.push the object. And that's it. I don't really care about anything else. And I expected a type found a module. Wait a sec. Oh, are you oh, you're not an enum, you're constants. What are you? Okay, not body part. I want oh, there's these like tuples. What are you? Great, you're an object. Is there a way to go like backwards? There he is. Okay, command option left arrow. And then construction site extends game object. Okay, so impl game object. Expected trait found game object. Oh, because game object is not a trait. Oh, I was really hoping that the prototype was like an enum, but it's not. That's why. Okay, so it's a mod. A mod. Oh, well, that's fun. So I can find I can find this here, but that's not helpful. And I don't think you have any traits for this. No. JS object. Kind of, but then you're unhappy because this needs to be. Now it's this type. Oh, prototype constant. That's what we need. You're a prototype constant. Okay, so you're a prototype, you import prototype constant. That's great. Okay, so you give view array.push this object. Oh, well, that's not working out for me. I could, I suppose, do an enum to wrap around it myself. Or if I figure out what the generic is. Maybe that would help. Oh, wait. Consider constraining the associated type to JS value. Okay. So consider constraining it. So, where do I do that again? It's like, or I want to do this as like a T. So type T, where T is a JS value. Oh, that's not how to do it. I always forget how to use generics. Rustlang generics for functions. Okay, so that was the general idea. Then we need the where. That's great. Can I see? Well, this is now just traits. Okay, that's not what I want. Okay, so what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to say where you're that. Expected a trait, found a struct. Okay, so wait a second. Oh, if I do T. Okay, so T this is prototype. Consider restricting type parameter T. It has no clue what to make it. Oh, fun. Great. Okay, so if I make you a type, which is this prototype constant. Oh, this is a trait. Okay, wait a second. This might work. So, trait prototype constant. I want T prototype constant like that. Now you expected. Oh, reference. Right. I want just a reference here. Consider creating the associated type T to JS value. Well, the problem is this type isn't that, and this object that we're getting is different, right? To a JS value. So I want to say that your prototype constant plus JS value. That's a type, right? Yeah, it's expected trait found a type that, how do, all right, I don't know how to do this off the top of my head. Maybe I'll figure it out later. I think I'm going to just go back to, okay, so prototype, we'll leave this off. So get game object array for this is gonna be get container game job object array, turn the array, and this is gonna be prototype structure container. This is really too bad. Okay, so if I do that, then all of this just works because you are a type structure because we know what type you are right here. That's what it is. I wonder if I need to tell it what type to get at this point. If I was to use generics, maybe. But okay, so if I do this, then we're gonna come back to swamp. So let containers equals get container game object array. That gets me this array. I want to find the closest. So let closest container equals find closest by path. Containers none. Okay, that gives me an option in the case that there is nothing in here, which I suppose is possible that there is none in case maybe the other ones got destroyed. So we can do an if let. Okay, so at this point we have the closest container, and I want to attempt to move to it or collect from it. Wonder if that would work. So let's see. If creep dot withdraw, so the target is going to be this game object, but I just have an object, not a game object, so probably won't work. What's this container? The type is going to be the resource type energy, and the amount is an option. So a none for the full amount. So if this is return code error not in range, then creep dot move to the closest container. Now, the problem here is that expected a reference game object found a reference object. So I need to turn this into the appropriate. Okay, so I need to get a container from an object, which we have object to creep here, which then reflects that, but then it gets a creep. So I want to do an similar thing, but this is going to be object to container. Hi, Zilby. What's up? He's in the other room meowing. You might want to play. Okay, so we get an object, and I'm going to return a structure container. So we're going to get the object ID out here. Then, okay, get objects for prototype. Oh, right. Okay, so then this is going to be prototypes, structure container. Into iterator find. This is going to be our structure. Does this compile to WASM? Oh, hello, Caltel. Does it compile to WASM to work with Screeps? It does indeed. So give me 1 second here. So I have a structure equals the object ID. We return that. And that gives me, yeah, this option with that one. Okay, that should work now. So you need to be the game object. So I need to do, okay, so if let sum. I found this closest container, so this other one should work. So I don't think I need to do another if let. I think I can wrap it. Okay, so I want to do a let closest container. This is really just like an object. Closest container equals container, no, it's object to container, pass it in a reference to the closest container object, and I will unwrap. That gives me you, which then I can use this in withdraw from it. Okay, so that should then run our our creep should now go out and collect from the structure. So the way this is working is I have a Docker image here that am running. I'm basically just running a watch on my code, and every time I change it, it reruns, and currently it's on the swamp feature flag. So as soon as it sees my changes, it compiles it and then stores the code in the correct spot for Screeps Arena to see. But yeah, it is definitely compiling into WebAssembly, which makes, like, there's some things that make this really hard, and some things makes it a lot easier than like the JavaScript side. It's very interesting to see which ones are which. The type system is really nice. However, as you can see, the other problem is sometimes I get into this, okay, if let, and I go into like if let hell. But okay, so we can come back to here, and I want to see next time I run this that all of these start collecting from the containers. We're obviously still going to draw. Hey, and there we go. Okay, so we go collect some. Okay, collected from this one here. It collected 50 because that's all we can carry because we have such a small carry amount. We probably want to increase that and like make us have like bigger, like bigger carrying capacity. But each creep is not going to time out, so I don't have to worry about that at all. So that's good. So next thing is run collector. So if our use capacity, so if we reach the else, then it's time for us to actually like deploy the energy. So I want to get my spawn. Okay, so I need my spawn too, which is a reference to a structure spawn. Let's pass you in here too. And then we can just push it into there. So this will be an if creep dot it's not deposit. Oh, it's transfer. Target is our spawn. Let's see, resource type, energy, none for all of it. If we're not in range, move to the spawn. Okay. Well, that's easy enough. Okay. So just based upon that, we should now have a system where we have creeps that go out, get energy, and bring it back to the spawn. And then just continuously do that over and over. Okay, excellent. Now, this is... I think that we need to make each of these creeps a little bit bigger. We need to be able to hold a lot more energy, because when we eventually run out of energy in here and we start going after the energy in the center, when they start showing up, they each have like 200 of them. We have to go through all this swamp to get to them. So we really want to make it worth it and get like a ton of energy per sort of like, well, creep. Let's see, let's go into our role here. Where is that? Oh, right here. Each carry carries 50 at a time, and we have 1,000 energy limit for this entire thing. So also each carry is, I think, worth 50. Yeah, each carry is 50. Each move is 50. So let's imagine that each carry is essentially 100. And then I'm also giving ourselves a single tough. So if we give ourselves, okay, through a 1,000 limit, I want, I mean, I guess we would be 10 of these, right? Let's do 9. 9 carries, 9 moves. So I want... Oh, and I was doubling the moves. So that's not... Yeah, okay. So I want double moves. So it's actually 150. Let's imagine that it's 200. So that would be 5. We'll round down to 5 of these. So 5 of these sections. So 5 more of you. You wonder how much work went into making Screeps? It's a good question. Oh, that's not right. Probably just want to be like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I don't know. It could have been a huge amount. Let's see. I want to give you a trailing comma. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. So that should be 5 total of those, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 total of those. The to-do macro is really nice. I know it is really nice. Okay, so these would be significantly larger crates, and they should be able to move okay when they're full, but they're still gonna be slow as heck on Swamp. And they should not be too expensive. Let's try this. So now I have to wait. We start at 500, like 500 energy in our spawn, and then we get 1 energy per tick. How much energy is this costing us? It's not 1,000, but it's certainly above 500. Okay, there it goes. So at tick 260, we start making our first creep. And then also notice this is a bigger creep that we're making, so it takes longer for it to make. So 260, we start making it. And that dropped us down to really close to nothing, like about 0 energy in the spawn. Which is not surprising. Like we're trying to make what creep every tick. Okay. That took an actual, like I could actually see it drop off. Okay, so it needed 3 goes backs and forths to create another creep. But we can see like we're getting close to halfway down on this container, and that's not gonna be great. We're gonna, like, I probably don't need 5 of these creeps anymore. Maybe I do, but this will over time. Okay, so we'll create all 5 of these creeps. Wait, why aren't you doing stuff? Oh no! They're going after the closest container, but the container doesn't have any energy in it. So I need to get the closest container with energy. So in our utilities here, so we have this get container game object array. So get containers with energy game object array. I don't know. I think I want to change this to now containers to array. We'll take in, sure, we can take ownership. Well, actually, no, it doesn't matter. This can be a vector of them. So this could be containers is a reference to a vec of structure container. Containers, and just do into, and we'll do that. Back to swamp. You'll be upset. Let's get, oh, it's containers to array. And then you, okay, so I need to get the containers first. So, get objects by prototype. Structure container. Okay, that gives me a structure of these. I want to only get the ones, so that's into iterator. We'll filter okay, so filter, are we gonna have to get like the store? Yeah, store. Dot right, get used capacity. So if get used capacity is greater than 0. And we'll collect you back up into structure container. Why are you upset? Oh, not that. I want a vec. So a vec of structure container. There we go. That will make you happy. Okay, so then we want an array of containers. So we want that containers array equals containers to array. Okay, that gives us that one. Okay, so that should be fine now. So if we run this again, we should continue running until we all of those containers should then run out of energy, and we should start moving to grab the containers out here. You wonder if there's a solution to if let nesting. Probably moving them into different functions, so like more functions that are smaller. A little bit more functional coding style would probably help out significantly. So I have to wait a significant amount of time. So if my opponent mounts up a really just cheap attack force and attacks, they probably win. Just like that. I kind of wonder if that's what we should do. Like maybe like we're going about this the wrong way. We're creating these like really expensive collectors. I wonder if I just want to create like 10 attackers and then just go at it. Right, I wanna make sure that this works sort of as we expected. So let's speed this up a little bit. Okay, so our spawn is at full of energy. Okay, it's working. We emptied this one. And we're back to golden. Okay, perfect. So these are probably too large. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of times that I'm not doing anything. So I probably want to like stay with a maximum of 50, maximum of 500 size for this to begin with. So let's calculate that. If each of you cost 50-50, and then move is, so 50-50, but I want double move per carry. So that's 150 per one. So what is that? That's 500 divided by 150. I can have 3 and a little change. So I can have 3 and some tufts. Okay. So if I do 150 times 3, 150 times 3 is 450, which means I can get actually 5 tufts to round it up to 500 exactly. Repeating, of course. Yes, of course. Also, hello, Cyprus. So we're going to get, 3. I think I'm going to like having one just right off the bat going. So we're going to go into roll. So we're going to get 5 tufts. So 5 tufts. We're going to get 3 carries and 6 moves. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that right? Did I do that right? Yes. And this should allow me to start creating these collectors just instantaneously. Okay, so I saved that, right? I did. Yeah, I'm building one right off the bat, and you're also out of energy. So I calculated that out perfectly. We're gonna get our 5 collectors before we run out of energy in here too, which is perfect. So the next thing would probably to build our military. So we want probably attackers next. So in swamp, let's do hub have attackers. Do 8. Want attackers. Let's. So in default. For have attackers, we're going to start with 0. For want attackers, I want, let's say, like, I don't know, something crazy. Like, I want 100 in my army. Let's see, what else would I need to deal with this? So this is going to auto fill out the type. Oh, this one here. So we want roll attacker, creep types, have attackers plus equal to 1. Okay, so we start with needed roll. So if We're gonna do it in else if self dot have attackers is less than self dot want attackers. Some role attacker. Then we're going to run. Okay, so that's going to give us a role for when we need it. And so we're going to build attackers. And then we're going to run. So we need a run attackers function. So function run attacker. Okay, so we're going to want a creep. We could want enemy creeps. And we're going to want our, so we want enemy creeps. Let's let enemy creeps. So let's get creeps. My is false. We're going to want our enemy spawn. And so we're going to take those in. So we're going to take in myself. Creep is a reference to a creep. We're going to take in enemies, which are a reference to a vec of creep. And enemy spawn is a reference to a structure spawn. Okay, so what do we want to do with this? When we get our okay, so for each of these enemy creeps, I want to get the closest enemy, and we want to attack it. So just attack the closest enemy if there is one. So I want creeps to object. So that's enemies array equals, this is, do I have creep to array? Create creeps array. I think I want to rename this to creep to array. Which gives me some this is creep to array. Okay, so run attacker, creep to array, pass it the enemies. How many lines of code have I put into this so far? It's kind of hard to tell because it's across all of the different things here. Plus I did the tutorials. It's like specifically in Swamp is like, you know, this is 121 of Swamp specific code. So like several hundred today. What does Rust give you over just raw JS? So it gives you a couple things. Probably one that I just have to mention is it allows you to write Rust as opposed to JavaScript. So that is one, that is a thing. Another thing is the type system is extremely strong and there is no null type. You may see me using option types. Actually, question, Cypress, how familiar are you with Rust? Do you know Rust at all, or is it mostly JavaScript? Not familiar with Rust, you normally just use JavaScript. Awesome. Okay. So this is all Rust code. It's like, it should be relatively familiar coding wise because it just follows, relative like C style stuff. So like FN instead of function, but still makes sense, right? And if you're familiar with TypeScript, then you'll see that I have in some of my functions a thin arrow. Oh, that's mostly in utilities here. Like a thin arrow here, which is saying, hey, this function returns this type. So, okay. The defined types is probably the strongest part of Rust, especially when we're working with WebAssembly. So here, this options here is I'm passing in a none. And this is one of the most powerful parts of Rust, which is there is no null type. There's no null, there's no undefined, there is no void, there is I can't accidentally run into a problem where it is null and I didn't want it to be. And the reason for that is they have this option instead. And an option is it's a special type that is basically saying, hey, it's either nothing or it is something, but because it specially defines that type instead of just null, it forces, the compiler can say, you must handle it. So I'm writing this code here as this very special if let thing, which basically says, okay, if this thing returns something, then handle it in here. Otherwise, it's going to return nothing. And I can then do something specific about that. I don't care about the nothing part. I just say only do this if it's something. So it basically just the compiler forces you to handle all the cases in which there might be bugs due to like nulls or, some other type maybe being in there and you're not exactly sure which one it is. That's the primary reason to use Rust, is that it's very it's not like super opinionated. It's just very strict to make sure that you're following good, like at least bare minimum good practices. So in here, I am guaranteed that I have a closest enemy object. It cannot be null or none at this point in time. I know that I have it, and so I need to turn this object into a creep. So I want to say let our enemy, it's going to be equal to a object to creep. Pass it in the closest enemy object. Now this gives me an option here. And so now I know if I have this one, this can't possibly fail. And so I'm going to do a unwrap. And so an unwrap is telling me, okay, take that, and I'm telling the compiler explicitly if that was a none. Like if it didn't have anything in there, crash. Like I want it to crash. Okay, so now I have an enemy. Now I can attempt to attack it. So we're going to do if creep dot attack if blah equals undefined. Yeah, no, that's true. But then you have to have that like sort of everywhere, and if you forget it in one places, the compiler, or rather your editor, won't tell you that, hey, you've forgotten one place, and now you're going to spend 3 hours trying to find that one place where it was undefined where you didn't really sort of expect it to be. There's certain times when it helps a lot, and there's certain times where it just gets frustrating. It's like, oh, come on, I know that it can't possibly be undefined. You just let me do it. It sort of goes back and forth, and over time you sort of get used to what the compiler sort of expects and needs, and you just sort of avoid those traps, and it's all good again. What I'm sort of realizing right now, what I want to do is I want to do two things. I want to just attempt to ranged attack it, and I don't care. So I'm going to do a creep dot ranged attack of my enemy. And I don't care about the return code here. Now, I'm also going to attempt to melee attack them. So I'm going to have my attacker creeps are going to be both rangers and melee attackers. So, and then they can do both attacks at the same time. So we're going to do if creep dot attack enemy. Am I a dev in real life? Yes, I am. So I'm a managing lead of a web services team at a startup company. So I both do management stuff, leadership stuff, and then I'm also, knee deep in the code on a mostly daily basis. Although recently a lot of my time is being taken into more architecture and doing a lot of also like AWS and infrastructure type stuff too, where I have my team that are like every day they're in the code. So yes. So return code, and if you're not in range, creep dot move to the enemy. Okay, we need to go into role and say if you're an attacker, because we'll get this to do here. You're fond of JavaScript, can definitely get confusing sometimes. The project gets a little bit too big, but for small stuff feels very manageable. Luckily, there's that next step up to TypeScript too. Absolutely. If you just go into TypeScript from JavaScript, you get a huge amount of benefits right there and then, and you probably don't really need to move off of TypeScript, even for decently large-sized projects. You're a platform engineer, but you feel more like, hey, let's give everything to this guy. So you're getting to that stage of your career. That's good. That's good. It can be a little bit tough to sort of break out of that and then go into like the next levels. But that's a good place to be. Okay, so attacker. Okay, what do we want to do? We have 1,000 max that we can do. So we need I want attacks and ranged attacks. So I'm actually thinking that ranged attack is going to be a lot more valuable for us because on a swamp, it takes way more time to get there. And so like actually physically hitting them, we probably only need like 1 or 2 of these. And like we want to like have a lot more ranged attacks. I could have me heal myself also and just like heal, attack, and ranged attack. We could do that. I vaguely remember, where did we put it? We did a search for, and did I store it away? I did not. Okay, so there was creeps, documentation, the simultaneous execution. So here is this. Okay, so I can do an attack or a heal. I could then do ranged attack. Okay, so attack or heal, and then ranged attack. Okay, so that's good to know. So bear in mind, for every single one of these, I want to do also add 50 to it. to figure out what my allowance is. So let's start with 1,000. You really wish JavaScript would get pattern matching though. Sometimes the next 2 decades you can feel it. What kind of pattern matching are you talking about? Because like there is that match, but that's a match on a string, right? So like, are you talking about like pattern matching objects and arrays and other things too? I could see that being nice. Yeah, okay. So you're talking about like pattern matching like an object. Like, does this object have this thing? Basically be able to do not a deep equals, but like if a partial equals, if like an object partially equals this, if like it has this property, if it has like 3 properties and it matches these other ones, there could be some cool things you could do with that. Yeah, they probably won't get that for forever. So let's see. We'll fill out whatever is left with didn't want to do that. Let's go back to creep. We'll fill out whatever is left with tough. So let's start with ranged attack is the most important one for me. So I probably can get away with 1 heal. Okay, so let's do that. So if I start with 1,000 and I subtract 250 for the heal. But it's not 250, it's minus 50. So that gives me 700 to work with. So let's add this in here. So we're gonna do part heal, part move. Okay. Then I want range attack. So this is 200 essentially. So divided by 200, I can get 3.5. So let's say 3 more of 3 range attacks and heals. Or sorry, yeah, whatever. What am I thinking about? I don't know. We'll do part range attack. We get 3 of those, and then 3 more moves. Okay. So that is... What is that? That's 150. No, that's 200 times 3. That's 600. Plus 300. That's 900. So now I have, I have 100 heals, so I can put 10 toughs on this thing. Or I could put another move and 5 toughs. I might want another move and like 5 toughs. Oh, but for each tough, I want to move too. I want toughs, so I want... So we can do part tough. So 5 of these, and then 1 more move. This should be 1,000. And I'm missing an attack. An attack is 80. Maybe I'll just skip attack. We'll just do range attack. Okay, then that'll be fine. That'll be fine. So then what we'll do, that will spawn that guy. I want run attacker. So instead of range, we'll do a range attack if we can. Okay, so if ranged attack is not in range, move to the enemy, and then also attempt to heal. Not my enemy. Heal myself. In fact, do that if I don't have an enemy close to me. Just heal myself all the time. And also ranged attack. And move to this. Okay, so that's if there is a closest enemy. Okay, so now else. If I don't have a close enemy, I want to move and attack. So else if creep dot ranged attack the enemy spawn. This is already a reference. I don't need a double reference. Okay, so then let's run attackers here. So pass in this creep enemies, which is going to be well, enemies, I believe. Oh, enemy creeps, and then enemy spawn, like that. Okay. Now in this case, we should just win, right? I would imagine that if we play this game, we have an idle opponent. They're not making any enemies. We should just go and attack their spawn and just kill it really quickly. Victory. Okay, 775 ticks. That feels like a long time. I'm a little bit worried that we're going to be way too slow for this. Hi, so want to come up here? Kitty Cat is here. He usually doesn't like hanging out near the microphone. It's like too big and in his face, and I try to get him used to it, but he's not super thrilled with it. So you write code to run some game logic and win the game. That's the idea. And then my opponents, this is an RTS. So my opponents are also doing the exact same thing. They're also writing, they've written their own code, and so my code versus their code, and we'll see who wins. And it's gonna be a rated match too. I don't know if I need 5 of these. I might need just 4, like 3. Then I can get my army out sooner. Okay, here we goes. Here's my first army unit, and it just immediately starts going out. Look how much slower it gets once it's on the swamp. Fatigue is, it's not too bad, but it's still pretty slow. If I put more move parts on it, it'll move faster on the swamp. It's flashing green because it's trying to heal itself all the time. I could just check to see if it's hurt. But that's not, it's not necessary. Okay, so we have, okay, and our other creeps are now collecting from these containers now, which is fine. So we're waiting until they come in to meet here. Let's speed up. And I'll just stay at range and constantly just range attack it. Now these have 3,000 hit. Oh, there goes. Okay, it didn't. It took 2 of them and not too much time to take it down. Okay, so we won against an idle opponent that does nothing to us. That's good. Let's now try on a single game against a rated opponent. We have not. We have no rating. We have no rank. Let's see if we win or lose against a random opponent. Now you kind of do find out before you can, well, you can click and watch the game, in which case you don't actually know what happens. So here is ourselves. Here's our opponents. Our opponents is Leo233W, and looks like they're creating some attackers right away. They're going with the tiny small creeps and moving to take us out. They have a healer here and then some creeps to sort of like refill. I'm still building my 5 refillers. Huh, where are they going to? Oh, is this the fastest path? This is the fastest path because it's through the it's avoiding as much swamp as possible. So, okay. I have all 5 of my creeps. I should be able to take out this attack force because they yeah, look at this. I'm going to be able to take them out because I have much more powerful. I'm healing too. One of my attacker creeps was able to take them out. They built a bunch more attack force. Huh. So they waited. They didn't flood me with enemies. They're building more attackers. So we know what's going to happen. They're going to come down. One of mine overwhelms them. And I'm going to win the match. Man, a single creep is able to take them out. Let's see. They didn't get... Oh, no. They created another set of 4. Looks like they have a healer in here, a ranger, and 2 attackers. Oh, and as soon as I kill one of theirs, they spawn a new of that type to go out. Which is probably going to be good. They're going to be constantly spawning when I'm attacking their... like, the closer I get to them, the more they spawn. But it won't really matter. I'm not going to run out of health because they can't do enough damage to me. I've got too many body parts. I've got healing on my creeps. And I just slowly make my way over to them. What's their body size? Hold on. Go down to 1 tick. I wanna see what. Come on, quick. Oh, they have 2 body parts. Heal and move. They don't have enough health. We have like tough and we have armor and we're outmatching their creeps. And they're almost out of energy here. They have still plenty to like spawn a ton of these little tiny guys, but with 3 ranged attack each, they're killed very quickly. And they're not even trying to gather energy from the middle. I guess they don't have to yet. I'm taking out their collectors who apparently stopped collecting. They're not even bothering going for this one. I wonder if they have the same problem that I had in that original one. Seems like they needed to rush you faster for that to have paid off a lot faster. And they've rushed almost like don't make any collectors. Like just build a single unit that takes 500 and then just go. That's probably the way to do it if you're gonna rush. And then we win. And there's nothing they can do. And there we go. Win state after 949 ticks. So this is like the equivalent of, I guess, in StarCraft, doing a sort of like a good, like not too defensive, just like a standard open. Get like a ball of death and just go. All right, so that was good. Let's play another game and let's see if we win this one. We'll just play games until we eventually lose, and then I'll probably end the stream after we like think about what the next strategy is going to be, because it's about 12 and I'm kind of hungry. So I am here on the left this time. My opponent is Stuart KC2 on the right. Looks like they have 2 moves. Okay, so they're actually doing decent sized creeps for this one. And it feels like they're doing similar to my style. So this will be interesting to sort of see how it works. One really cool thing about Screeps Arena is they don't have to be online. They just upload their code, and whatever their last code was that they uploaded is going to be what, you know, I'm playing against, and vice versa. I've uploaded this code base. Other people can now play against me. Now, the big thing that might hurt me is making 5 of my collectors. So I'm going to go back up to 4 ticks a second. Oh, look at this. They're creating defenders. So these have 2 moves and 2 attack. And this has 2 moves and 2 heals. And he's sending it off. He has 2 rangers, 2 melees, and 1 healer. Sort of like a good balance. I was sort of thinking though, because of this, I can get more attacks off, and I also heal myself. So let's see, we have 5. There's weirdness in their code, their movement code, where they're trying to stay in the same group. Like they're trying to stay grouped together, it looks like, which is why they do that swap back and forth. Now, let's see how one of my guys fares against their army. Oh, and there's a second army moving out right now. Ooh, I may be dead. And they're attacking my... I might be able to hold this off. Okay, I held that off. But they have another attacking group here. This is really close. Now, we're out of energy. I'm going to collect more energy though, and he still has some energy to make more attackers. This is not great for me. This creep here got killed almost all of its heal and its I should move the heal to the back, to the very end, so it can always heal itself back up again. Yeah, there's no way we can win this. We have this guy coming back with some energy that I got. But this should have, this was an attacker. If I put the heal at the very back of it, it would be able to heal itself back up no matter what. As long as it wasn't dead, I should probably also focus. Well, okay. I don't think I need quite as many collectors. I think I can get away with like one collector at a time, and then the rest sort of attackers. And then I think I could move the heals to the very end of my sort of like rows, because it kills it from left to right, and this is also in the array from left to right. So if I put my heals back here, it'll always heal me back up again eventually. We lose this match. Oh, sorry. The match ends at 11:30. I assume we lose. If they let us... No. Attackers coming from the south now. They've got weirdness going on with their movement. But they're going to wipe me out and then take the spawn. Oh, they were staging. They have a staging area. They're trying to group together so that they can be more devastating. Oh, that's a really good idea. And then they take over. So 1,130 ticks and we lose. So I won against one and then lost against another one. It shows here rating. I need 3 more games before I get qualified to figure out where I am going to be. And then we can, but next time I think what we want to do is take a look at this. And this is another good, cool part about Screeps Arena, is I can replay against this opponent. It doesn't affect my rating. I can just practice against them, against this iteration of them, until I can beat them, and then continue playing rating games. So, I know, weirdness movement or mob dance. Exactly. All right, well, that's going to be next week, though. So we, what I want to do is I want to get rated, and I want to get rated, and I want to get a rank, and then beat some people in like that rank as part of Spawn and Swamp. And also we need to play until we get the next key for the next game type. But this one seems to be pretty cool and interesting, and some tweaks. We can do some tweaks, and I think we'll be in the game and being able to beat Stuart. Maybe we need to rush Stuart with a stronger army. Anyways, next week on Sunday, we'll be back for Screeps Arena. Tomorrow morning, so Monday through Friday, I'm going to be doing web development. It's in Rust and U.RS. So that starts at 7 a.m. Mountain Time. So hope to see you there. Otherwise, have a great rest of your Sunday and have a great week. And see you next time. Bye.